Hello everyone, and welcome again to Lorenzo's Scientific Holistic Health Store. I'm here with another one of my clients. This sister is here in St. Louis. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, how you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Yes, of course, as a reminder, everything is anonymous here. We won't be putting out anybody's names. But this way, people get a chance to hear other people who might have some of the same complaints that you're having, or also may want to make the lifestyle change that you made. Basically, I guess to give people a little background, I've known you about a year, right? Is that about right? About a year?
Yes.
So yeah, it's about a year. I know when we first met, we had did a lot of talking about milk and dairy, so-called dairy consumption, and we got you off of that. I guess give people a little backdrop on, I guess, you know, if what good or bad information I've given you within this last year, but like what type of things have you seen in your own health changes by making the different changes that we had talked about, and tell people what those changes were.
Some of the changes I've made this year have included cutting back seriously on my meat intake and cutting out dairy, and incorporating more vegetables and fruits into my diet.
And what can you tell people about that? Like, how hard was it? Because one of the biggest things a lot of people, including yourself, I'm gonna put you out there, nobody knows who you are, but I know it's hard at first because we get so used to eating a lot of things we've grown up eating. So share with the people like how you found different ways and different things that we've shared, that I shared with you, how you can easily transition.
I guess one of the hardest things for me was cheese. Because I've been a person who's since I was, let's say, a baby, I've been used to consuming cheese.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing, you know me, everybody's known me for a while. I used to always keep, been in the homework, grab cheese, any type of cheese was always in the refrigerator.
Oh yeah. And you remember when I first met you also, we talked about that that bronchial aspirator or whatever that is for the asthma and stuff like that. Have you had to use that as much?
Shoot, currently I'm not even sure exactly where it is.
Oh yeah, so that's good, that's good. And I remember it was hard for you to get off of that, cause when you do take different type of medicines all your life, and you're told all your life that you're asthmatic and things like that, you basically make it a part of your life. And to make that change in order to start to see that the different dietary changes can and will bring your body back to health, it becomes more realistic to people. Because I know how it was, including yourself. You're not by yourself. A lot of people are like, well, I've had this all my life, and they feel like that there's no, how can taking different foods and plant material change that? How can it be more powerful than something that a doctor gave you? And as you see, that is a lot more powerful. For one, they give you things to take for the rest of your life, which is smart if you're into business. I would want somebody to take something, if I was thinking like them, I would want them to do something for all of their, all of their life also. That's how they keep making money off of it. This is a good chance because we only get about like 20 minutes. I guess what I want to jump right into also is to tell people a little bit about exactly what things you used to eat and what do you eat now. Exactly. And also tell them exactly about the different transition foods, like the different soy products, and why we moved away from soy after that, if you can remember.
See, one thing, soy is a good substitute, like if you're used to eating hamburgers and eating chicken, it's a good alternative. It's a nice alternative to break away from eating hamburgers, chicken, turkey, fish.
Exactly.
The reason why it's not a good thing, because eventually some people get stuck in a stage where they continually consume the soy, which is still harmful. It's better than eating dead meat, it's a lot of, sometimes they have a lot of chemicals they still put into soy currently.
That's right. So I see you were listening. You were listening. That's a good job. Good job. Yeah. And also, just for the sake of time, I will go into, I'm going to use that, and I will be cutting you off just a little bit, not because I'm just that type of curt guy. It's just because the time usually runs out so fast. There's so much to talk about, and we only get 20 minutes, or else I won't be able to upload stuff to Facebook. Other things I'll put right onto YouTube, and I can speak for a couple of hours. But people keep harassing me saying they want me to keep it brief, so I'm going to keep it brief. So the Speak to the Client segment of my shows, we'll keep it pretty brief. What are you doing? You falling in pots and pans in there or something?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was serving.
Okay. But now we're going to go into, I just wanted to jump right in and interject what protein is just for a second. We're not going to go that deep into it, but a lot of people, the first things that come up when you say stop drinking cow's milk, is you feel like you're not going to get the calcium. That's what most people tell me. I'm not going to get my calcium. Calcium is a mineral that comes straight out of the ground. It's a white rock, so to speak. And we get it, the plants break it down for us, and when we eat the plants, that's how we get calcium into our bodies. We assimilate it that way. The same way cows eat grass all day. So since we don't eat grass, we eat other plants, and that's how we get the calcium. Same thing with the protein. The protein, the definition, we can go into the definition later on a little bit deeper, but the most basic way of looking at it is basically your proteins are a string of amino acids and linked with peptides, which, you know, it sounds weird because people don't really look up what protein is. We just say, how you gonna get your protein? How you gonna get your protein? But people don't even have a clue what it is. But it exists in plants and animals. It exists in all life. It is the building blocks of everything that we know. And your body actually makes the proteins that you need, except for certain essential amino acids that we'll get into later. But now I will go into some of the different physical things that you've seen from your lifestyle change.
Okay, with my body, I was currently, I guess, about the size. My mother and I were, I guess, about the. I was getting close to the size my mother is. Like, she's not a bad size. I'm not going to say she isn't.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I'm just saying, I looked at, you know, she's lived on this earth a lot longer than I have. And, you know, for the issue, she's in great shape. But for me, I thought I shouldn't be at that size at this particular junction in my life.
Okay, and what about age range are you?
I'm sorry?
What's your age range? Because people don't know.
Mid-20s.
Okay, and what about, so your mom's about 50s, mid-50s or something like that?
Yes, she's...
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just doing that for people they don't know. You might be 105 or something.
Okay, yeah, I'm 105. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, proceed.
Okay, I'm just... one thing is that, you know, I was starting to get lazy a little bit. Energy level was kind of down at times, battling with different imbalances.
Well, like different hormonal changes is getting older?
Yes.
Okay. And how is it now?
It's getting better. It's still, you know, I've been doing this for at least about 7. I've been battling with this for about 6 months, I guess. Mm-hmm. So changing my lifestyle, I've been going through a process, which is currently not completed yet.
Exactly.
But I'm currently at this point where I'm getting to a point where I'm not craving meat. I'm really not craving meat. Mm-hmm. And dairy. You know, like some people, it's kind of hard, especially hanging around with people who still eat that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just me, it doesn't satisfy me as it used to. I guess my body is getting used to having other nutrients. Exactly. And most people say they can't imagine eating the way I do, and it wasn't that long ago that I was saying I couldn't give up my cheese, I couldn't give up this, I couldn't give up that, even though I wasn't eating it as much. You know, I'm not eating dairy and meat that much, but I just can't can't see my life without it.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing what the body is. The body is a very complex machine, which even doctors are still struggling to understand.
Exactly.
And the body can go without some things.
Oh yeah. And the way that I teach is basically like you already know. We just take it one step at a time. I have people to get rid of the milk first. That's the first thing, especially for black women like yourself, African Americans in this country, and all melanated people. When that milk, every human being actually is lactose intolerant. People just don't know it, so they think, like you always hear, that black people are lactose intolerant. You hear Hispanics, and Spanish just means Spanish speaking. I speak Spanish. Well, it's Spanglish. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a race. That's not a genetic quality. It's a cultural heritage, so to speak. But any melanated being, the people with the most melanin are the most averse to mucus from the cows that they're producing out here. But the thing is, everybody is. When you give it to your cats, that's why they diarrhea all over the house and everything, because no other species wants to drink another species milk, especially once you get past that weaning stage where you're supposed to, that's what weaning is all about. It's supposed to get you off of milk way back when you were 2 years old or something like that. At the highest 5 years old, which is weird to see, but your body, you no longer produce enzymes for breaking down that milk, lactose. But also I wanted to talk to you pretty briefly. I guess we have about 6 more minutes. We could go into, we went over the lifestyle change, why you were getting off the asthma medication, your body's changing, you're losing weight, feeling better, your energy's going up, and it's been a process. I remember you used to keep big things of chocolate milk in the refrigerator, and we had talked about that. We went step by step, and you're doing excellent, actually, because there are a lot of people. You're going to still see people in your peer group, friends and family, who don't really want to make that change. You really can't make them. So people have to go through that door on their own. And just like a lot of our people are into the Bible, if you take that, travel half of that road, the Creator will meet you the rest of the way. And actually, we found out in this health field, if you just start walking that road, the first few steps, the Creator will bring you the rest of the way, or at least hold your hand. And that's how it feels too, because you will do things that you never thought you could, foods that we were raised on and we never thought we would be able to get rid of. And I showed people many different methods. Some people can go cold turkey right when they hear that the stuff is poisonous. They don't mess with it anymore. Some, once they hear how nasty the process is, they go cold turkey. And cold turkey is funny. They basically cut it out 100% immediately. And for the rest of us, we use different alternatives to take one thing out at a time. And either way works. It's just that my particular paradigm that I'm working from, whenever I meet clients, you don't fall into this category, but I do meet people that are in and out of the hospital, and I might meet them at the emergency room, or they'll call me afterwards, or they'll tell me that themselves or their family member has cancer, or they just come out from having their breast taken off. You know what I'm saying? The uterus is all cut up, the abdominals all cut up, toes cut off, legs cut off. And those are the ones that still will say, I gotta give up milk. I can't do that. And I'm like, wow. So, and I might do another video on that. I won't do it now, but it makes me wonder when people say that God is at the head of their life. I beg to differ. The devil's at the head of that life, because the devil makes the food taste so great. That's what people are saying.
Saying one thing, I want to interrupt for a second.
Yes, go ahead.
I guess one thing is that I'm not, it's kind of off the subject, kind of not in the direction you're headed, but I like to look at it this way. One thing, especially as a child in church, I learned that God wants somewhat soldiers, and in order to be a soldier, you have to be somewhat disciplined. True. You can't fall for everything, and sometimes we think about giving up so many things, and just like with the milk and all that, and so many other things that we do that are harmful for us. We can give up. It's amazing what little it takes to survive, and that's one thing we forget. especially here in the culture that we've been raised, where we want to indulge, and food is one of the greatest ways that we indulge. And food originally was not meant for us to indulge. It was meant for us to survive.
Oh yeah.
Just like we're supposed to, I say, my philosophy, I tell quite a few people, we were supposed to eat in order to live. And currently we somehow got this turned around.
Oh yeah.
And we live to eat.
That's true. That's true.
Like food is one of the core things of so many people's existence, and we see that continually. And it doesn't matter whether somebody's extremely skinny or, as they say now, obese. So we have, those are two extremes, but we currently have a problem on all levels with that.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. And I like the way you put it. You put it a little bit nicer than I usually put it. I'm going to have to start using it. I'm going to go back and look at that, because that is a very good way of putting it. Because some of the ways I guess I put it, it turns a lot of people off. And I really don't want to do that. It does resonate with some people, then some people are like, oh, I can't believe he just said that. But I like the way you put that. And that's the way, that's another way I might start putting it to people also. In order to be a soldier for God, you have to look at the things you have to take out of your life. And I want to add to that, and I want to ask those people, isn't it pretty small in relationship to what you're going to get in the long run? In order for you to be a soldier, a Christian soldier, like that song, Onward Christian Soldiers, in order for you to go onward, you need to be here on this planet, number one. Then also, I used to hear people talking about if they were there when Jesus was getting crucified, you know, they would have run out there and helped them carry that cross. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to walk that long walk, let alone pick up a big heavy cross. You know what I'm saying? Most people wouldn't be able to walk to those different villages that he was walking to. The work of a spiritual person, no matter what spirituality you're coming from, your body, which is the temple that the Creator gave you, that the Creator dwells inside of to be able to work through you to work on this planet, you got to keep it clean. And I myself, I have to remind myself every day, there's always something better that I can do. So I'm not talking from a point where I'm at the apex and everybody else is on the nadir, the lowest point. I'm at the point where I'm saying, let's all go up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not so high up that I can't reach back behind me and pull someone else up. That's where I'm coming from. We're down to the last 2 minutes. Is there anything else you want to tell people about? Oh, and I would be remiss not to remind everybody, I am the progenitor of the Daily Detox, in which I did go into a couple of the ingredients. And you have those too. I don't know if you have this particular formula yet, but we'll make sure you get these too. I know you don't like, a lot of people don't like the capsules. You know, a lot of people, it's hard to swallow. It's just those are more potent than the liquid forms. You know, I will do some liquid forms a little bit later, but these are more potent because you want to swallow them, and you don't, because once you start putting something in your mouth and the saliva gets to it, it's broken down inside your mouth, where most of your digestion actually is supposed to happen. 60% of your digestion actually is supposed to happen right there in your mouth. But that's a different subject too, because you have to, most people don't chew their food up. But yeah, I do the capsules because they're more potent, because they open up inside your gut. They're all 100% vegan caps, all plant material. The caps themselves are also plant material, so it opens up inside your gut, and then the herbs get a chance to work inside your gut without being metabolized before they even get to where they need to go. But what is it? Is there anything you want to say? We have about 30 seconds. I know I took most of that minute. I'm sorry about that.
I guess one thing is just say that sometimes detoxing is important. You're supposed to detox, what, every season? Once every season?
Yeah, every 3 months. And as I teach, you detox actually every single night when you go to sleep. Also, you fast. 10 seconds.
Okay, have a nice evening.
Okay, sorry about that. You too. And we'll be talking to you again.
Okay.
All right, peace.